What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to give you guys my early impressions on Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. First, I want to start off by obviously thanking Ubisoft for giving me a code. I got it yesterday from when you guys are watching, so got it a little bit early, not early enough to play through it to do like a full-on review, but I want to tell you guys what I think, because while I've seen the review scores, and I can see how maybe I'll eventually get to those kind of thoughts, I'll be honest, I think this game is fantastic. I was blown away, and it has exceeded everything that I thought this game was going to be. Okay, I actually have kept this here for safekeeping. This game right here is not how you do it, and I actually made a video, and kind of divisive. This game actually a lot of people really like. Some people really hate it. I really don't like this game whatsoever. I was lied to online. People said it was good. It's not good. This game in my opinion is good. Again, there's some opportunities where I guess like cracks could start to show itself, but I'm really having a blast, and I'm going in, as I've told you guys kind of before, I'm no Avatar like diehard. I saw the first movie, thought it was great, good, haven't seen it in years and years and years, really don't care to see it again. Second movie, haven't even seen the second movie, so I'm coming at this game, Frontiers of Pandora, from like a gamer, right? Like, sell me on the world. Have this game sell me on the world. The movies do it fine, but I'm just not really interested. And honestly, it's doing it. It really is. This world is absolutely stunning. You've probably seen that from reviews, but I am not joking when I say this is one of the prettiest games I've seen, period. If Alan Wake 2 didn't come out this year, man, this I think is neck and neck with Alan Wake 2 with maybe the best looking game of 2023. I really believe, I mean, I'm dead serious. And this one does it through, I guess Alan Wake also does it, but the environment, holy dear Jesus, Pandora looks incredible. And my wife was actually sitting next to me. Christy, you may know her from the channel, right? She was sitting next to me, and I was playing it. She wasn't really interested, and you start this game not outside. Okay, that's all I'll kind of say for spoilers. You start the game inside, so you can kind of tell, like, it's a nice-looking game, but you can't fully tell. But as soon as you step out, it's almost, I'll be honest, it's almost like a Fallout moment. You step outside of the vault. In this case, it's not necessarily that, and you just get to see the environment, and the sun just, kind of soaks it in. It is insane. I don't think my jaw actually dropped, but I'm not kidding when I say I literally said, oh my God. I was narrating my thoughts of how good this game looked out loud to my wife, who normally doesn't care. Normally she is not going to watch it. It doesn't interest her. A lot of the games I play don't interest her. But here's another fun fact. She actually got into it. She started just watching the visuals, looking at everything, and I actually let her play for a couple, or she wanted to play, then she gave me back the controller. But, she actually got into it. Just an onlooker, right? Just somebody watching it. This game is downright beautiful, and I do think it's the game's greatest strength. Now, you could say, well, Alex, visuals aren't everything. You're right. However, in this case, it's odd because this game gives off a very heavy vibe, like they want you to get immersed in the world. And I mean, as you should, open world game, right? Get immersed in it. I think it nails that 100%. I really don't know how it goes wrong. Everything looks so good. You do feel like you're in Pandora when it's daytime, when it's nighttime, when there's water. I'll talk about the water in just a second. I'm not going to forget. Water, grass, different flora, all sorts of freaking stuff in this game looks incredible. But not just the environment, characters. When you go into cutscenes and you're talking to other Na'vi and stuff, oh my God, like, it looks so good. And it almost like presents itself, I don't know, because it's first person, it's a little bit different in terms of like how everything comes off. Everybody feels like they're a little bit closer to you, and it has a different vibe, I feel, than if it was third person. I know a lot of people wanted this game to be third person. I think first person actually works, and it gets you, in my opinion, more invested in the world because you're almost like closer to it, if that makes sense. And another thing, in terms of the feel, I didn't read any reviews. I saw the review score, so I don't know if people have said this. It gives off a little Mirror's Edge vibes. Now, you're not going to be parkouring, but almost the floatiness of your character / the camera. Like if you brush up against a wall, it's hard to describe because you literally have to have the controller in your hand, but it's very like floaty, and your character kind of like pushes off, and it feels a little bit like Faith in Mirror's Edge with that floatiness. Again, you're not going to be parkouring per se, but you can leap in this game. You can actually leap quite far, so you can plan jumps, so you have to actually plan jumps. You can run and then also jump, and jump pretty far. And again, a lot of this game is built off of the exploration. There's kind of, I mean, towers, what you would actually probably imagine to be like eagle points in Assassin's Creed. There's those like things in Avatar where you're going to be like scaling some interesting designs, and just, again, everything looks so good. Now, I want to talk about the water, and then we'll go into the story and the actual gameplay, like the actual fighting, right? I'm not going to forget this water. I'm going to talk about it. Let me just show you it. Okay, so it is one of, if not the best water things in a game that I've ever seen in my goddamn life. I'm serious. Now, I'm a freak with this. If you guys, like, this is kind of a more inside joke slash just a thing I focus on my channel. I like to rate water. I'm a water guy. Look, Horizon, Forbidden West, and then Burning Shores, it is, I mean, it's kind of tied, because that game just looks so incredibly good, and when you go underwater, and so much of that game is actually built for you to go underwater with Aloy. But this game, again, I bring up the first person because, like, the water's touching you, and the camera is closer. But I gotta be, like, I stopped, and I looked for a long time at waterfalls. There's a couple of them just in the first several hours of this game, and I was blown away by just how good it looked. And then, you know, jumping in it and falling down into the water and going under and kind of, you know, plucking yourself up. Like, it is so good. And if Horizon isn't the best, then this game is. And so, like, it's incredible. It absolutely is. So I won't spend too much time wasting your time talking about water. But if you're into, like, how water looks in games, you don't get much better than Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Okay, now, in terms of the story and the gameplay, this is probably the weak spot of the game, or, as I've seen from some, like, little excerpts on Twitter and stuff, this is where I could see it kind of falling apart. It hasn't for me. I'm impressed. I actually think the combat is quite good. Now, I haven't done it too much. I haven't gone too far, and that's important to throw out there, right? I'm like 3.5 hours in. I'm just giving you guys this video, early thoughts before the game comes out. You know, if you care about what I say, great. If you don't, that's fine. I like the gunplay. I mean, in the beginning, you actually just use, like, bow and arrow. It's different because you're so much taller. You're kind of lanky. I saw people talking about the stealth. I will say the stealth leaves a lot to be desired. Now, here's the thing. I'm terrible at stealth. Normally, I attempt stealth. Sometimes I get lucky and manage to pull it off, like in other games, not necessarily this game. Sometimes I pull it off. Other times, I'll do stealth up to a certain point and then get caught, and then it's just, you know, guns blazing, right? I kind of just go crazy. This game, I get caught extremely early. It's very hard to do stealth. Now, for me, I thought that was a me problem. I gotta be honest, because I'm always bad. So when I'm sneaking around, trying to, like, headshot these guys and keeping my distance so, like, certain things don't see me, and then I get seen, I think that's more of a me problem. Judging from what I've seen online, maybe it's not. Maybe it is actually the game problem. The game doesn't work that well with stealth. I think the game actually is kind of fun with just gunfights. They buff your character up. You can take several, you know, hits. You can actually kind of run right at people, you know, as they're shooting you. Even, like, the big mech suit guys, whatever they're called. Again, I'm not into the lore, so I don't know any of, like, the official names. You can take several hits from them, and you can focus on their weak points, take them down easier. I think it's kind of rewarding. Like, it kind of feels good to shoot the bow and arrow, to shoot a rifle. Like, I don't know. I like it so far. Again, could it get repetitive? Could it get boring? You know, whatever. Maybe, but honestly, I'm not there yet. And I also didn't even play it with a co-op person. You can. You have to actually get a little bit into the game in order to do that. Co-op is locked off at first, and then there's a specific mission that you do, and then it'll tell you, okay, co-op's now available. And I got far enough in this thing where it really started to open up, where you could take on quests. I had like 5-6 quests at a time, and then you would start to go out and do things. Okay, so combat, hand-to-hand fighting or gun to other people's body fighting. I think the game is actually quite okay. Like at worst, at best, I think if you chain some things, you know what you're doing. I think this game can actually be quite fun. And the story, so far, I think is actually great. I really, really like the story. Now, I'm not super far, and story definitely can take twists and turns, right? Could get very good at the 15-hour mark and could be terrible at the 22-hour mark, right? That is something I'm very much willing to give any side of the argument. Where we're at right now, I think the game has a pretty solid opening that kind of gets you invested in the world, gets you invested with the other characters, sets things up, right? Establishes something, and then kind of lets you go off. I think it did all that in the first little while. Now, where does it go? I actually don't know. And, am I expecting all that much? To be honest, no. And where I'm at right now, I don't even know that's not even necessarily what I want. I guess going forward, the next 10, 15, 20 hours, however much longer of this game I have, I just want to see more of this world. I have not explored. I explored maybe like 5-10% of it, right? So it's like there's so much more to it. I just want to see it. And so far, like even the side stuff, side activities, side quests have been pretty okay. Again, it focuses hard on exploration, and that's kind of what I want to do anyway in this game. So if the story is at least decent, cherry on top, because as I've said, like going into this thing, I was honestly getting this game because it looked pretty okay from what we've seen of it so far, and it's the last big game of the year. I've been pretty honest with that. Like, it being the only thing out right now and distancing itself from everything that came out in November, that made me want to get it. So if the game is great, then to me, that might even make it better. Like, maybe the game is good, but it's not like incredible, but just because of circumstances, I find it better than it really is. And maybe that's what's happening right now, but I'll tell you right now that this game, at least visually, is a 10 out of 10. This game is maybe why you wait for the Game Awards, because, like, I don't know, the Game Awards doesn't have like a best setting, but if there was like a best visuals, category, this game should be in it. It doesn't have that category, so I guess it doesn't matter. But there you go. Let me know what you think. As always with these kind of videos, I rapid fire this. I don't have notes. I don't plan this stuff out. If there's anything that you want to ask, like a question that I didn't say, feel free, write in the comments. I'll answer it best I can, okay? Thank you for watching. Make sure you're subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I'll see you all on the next one.